Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we are taking a look at NieR Automata by Platinum Games and published by Square Enix, and it was courtesy of Square Enix Europe that I have a review code for the game, just to make that clear. It's a follow-up to a game I didn't play way back on the PS3, although it's a very different style now as I understand it. It's a third-person action-adventure game though. Please don't play the intro. There we go. We'll jump into my file in progress. I'm not going to do any main mission stuff, however, there might be very minor spoilers in my objective if it automatically changes to my main mission as opposed to a side mission. So, just a fair warning for that, but I have no intention of doing a main mission for the purposes of this first impressions video. So we'll start the game, and we'll jump in. The setup is that you play as an android named 2B and her companion 9S, and you're part of Yorha. For the glory of mankind, you live on the moon with surviving humans, and you're sent to Earth to try and fight back against alien/robot occupiers. Like, apparently aliens invaded, they sent a first wave of robots, the robots won, humanity escaped to the moon, and now they've created androids, which we're playing as, to try and take back Earth. It's a convoluted and weird setup, but very early on you discover that there's a lot more going on than that. You start meeting robots with emotions and things like that they shouldn't have. So that's the general setup. This is kind of like your first main camp. This is the resistance camp. And you're given a fairly large play area. I've not finished exploring it, as the areas that are kind of light grey, they're areas I've been to. The areas that are dark grey, I have not. I don't know if this is the only area, but even if it is, it's pretty big. The red dots are side quests, the big red dot is main mission, that kind of thing. So there's a lot to do. We'll go over some menu stuff once I show off a little bit of combat just to get started, but basic controls, I'm playing on PS4, it is also available on PC, but this is the PS4 version, so X is jump. Actually, let's leave the camp. I don't think they get annoyed if I attack while in the camp, but just in case. So yeah, X is jump, then we've got our primary weapon on square, which for me is a katana, and then triangle is my alternative weapon, which for me is, it's also a katana, but it's a bigger one, so it's much slower, but also much more powerful, as you can see. You can also hold R1 to fire. It's our little robot helper that kind of just fills in mission information and contacts headquarters. I've changed mine to look like a book because it was part of a, I think it's a pre-order bonus, but I had it included with my review code. There's also one that lets it look like a PlayStation, which is pretty nice. You can also use R2 to lock on, but there's nothing to lock onto right now. I think that about covers it, apart from L1, which is use your little robot's special ability. Mine right now is a death beam. I have the ability to buy more, but the death beam has served me so well that I don't see the need to change it right now. I like it. So we can run out here and what was that? Ah, okay. It has a sort of Dark Souls-esque mechanic where you can find the bodies of dead players and you can pray for them, or you can just continue. If you pray for them and they're playing right now, they get back health. I don't know if it's a full health heal or just a little bit. Then you can choose to repair it so you have another follower for a little while, although I find them very ineffective so far. Or you can retrieve them and you get full health, if you don't have full health when you do it. And it gives you some bonus stats and some money. So we have auto heal +1, damage absorb +1, anti-chain damage +1. I assume that means we're stronger against enemies juggling us. But anyway, if we head down here, you can get a nice idea for how the game looks. It looks fine, maybe a little bit basic, and there's some random robots just kind of strolling around. They're very low level, they're very ineffective, but we'll lock onto one of them and have a little bit of a fight just to show you how it is. It's a Platinum Games game, so you should know what to expect if you've ever played any of their games. Like, in terms of ones that I've covered, I did a playthrough of Transformers Devastation. It looks beautiful, the animations for the combat are very fluid, and it's satisfying to look at. They flow together very well. The only real complaint I have regarding, it's not even directly regarding combat, just in general, they clearly put a lot of time and effort into 2B, and yet the enemies are so basic. That's really the only distracting. You've heard me maybe mention this on streams while I was talking about playing the game so far, and I'm only maybe like 3 or 4 hours in. The enemies you're mostly fighting, with maybe the exception of some of the bosses, are all just various sizes of trash can, essentially. And it's very distracting. Oh, there's another dead player. Very distracting, because they all just kind of look like that. Like those enemies I just fought, there's bigger ones, then there's bigger ones with shields, there's bigger ones with guns. There's trash cans where it's just trash can lids piled on top of each other. I hope that the further in you go, the more varied it comes. Also, there's flying trash cans. There's flying trash cans that shoot at you. There's trash cans that wear capes. You know, it's... Why did they make such horrible looking enemies? And yet, obviously, spend so much time on player animation. It kind of bugs me a little bit. You can also hover using your robot if you hold jump after you do your double jump. Like over here, I believe we can find some of the bigger sized ones in the distance towards the desert area. I might head out to the desert area just where fighting stuff that's a bit higher level. There is a leveling system in the game. You do get experience points. Now, let's try and dodge a fist. When you're locked on, your sprint button becomes a dodge. And if you do it right, you can stumble enemies. Or you can do that, which opens up to teleporting behind them, essentially. Nothing personnel kid. But it also opens up additional combos, which is nice. Get over here, I dare you. No, you went after 9S. If that attack lands, it opens up into a very nice looking combo, which is what I'm trying to do. There you go. There are other weapon types. I'm just using the ones I prefer. I think there's hammers, spears, short swords, great swords. I feel like I'm forgetting one. We can check when we go back to Resistance HQ, actually. And we can have a little look there also at how you improve your character. So also similarly, sort of, to Dark Souls, I haven't died yet, but I have had the tutorial on what happens when you die. So if you die, your body gets left where it was, and you lose all your installed chips. And that's stat increases, like defense, attack, etc., but also basic things like being able to see your health bar or seeing the skill cooldown on your robot, for instance. When you do that, you see the skill timer, like ticking down on the left there. That's also installed, so if you want those back, you have to find your body and get them. If you don't, then they're gone. You retain your level and experience and story progress and what have you, but there is a way to lose everything you have equipped. Get over here, I dare you. And when you kill enemies, they drop parts. Sometimes they mostly just drop, well, it's bolts and screws, I think, but it's classed as money for the purposes of the game because everybody on Earth is a robot. Since all the humans are living on the moon. Oh yeah, there's a mission up there, isn't there? So I'll show you a bit of a change of scenery. We'll head out into the desert, but then we'll head back into this area in order to go show how you can buy parts to customize yourself. Also how the weapon upgrade system works. It's a little bit like Monster Hunter. It isn't just a case of buying better weapons. You upgrade the ones you have, and to do that you need parts from certain enemies. So although I complained about how the enemies look, they're just a little bit too basic and consistently basic. I do enjoy the game so far. I like the gameplay. I like Platinum's style of gameplay. I have in pretty much every game they've done that I've played. And the story has just enough intrigue that I'm curious, because there's obviously something going on that you don't know about. It's just obvious from the start, again, without going into details. Like, here's the trash cans piled on top of each other. So that has me interested. I've only fought 3 bosses or something. 3 proper bosses outside of the stuff that was in the demo, the tutorial essentially. But there's just enough inklings there that I want to know what's going on, and that's good. That might also even be enough for some people if they don't like the combat. I don't know. Oh, there's a chest up here. A small one, but still a chest. We got ourselves 1,000 gold. I assume the G can't possibly stand for gold when it's nuts and bolts. Just essentially picking on these guys now. Just kick them in the face. Oh, that's another combat type. Unarmed is a combat type. I think you can buy fist weapons, I'm not sure. Also, if you press down on the D-pad, that brings up your ability to use health recovery items or stat increase items. And then if you press up, you can change to a different weapon set. I haven't set up a different weapon set, so I guess, yes. It's punch, and then the light sword. I can show off the punching, although it's very weak comparatively. If you stun an enemy, sometimes you get a circle prompt above their head to do a special attack, and I think the hand-to-hand combat has a very high chance of triggering that. That seems to be my impression of it so far. We'll head back in the other direction now to go show how the skills work. I'm not sure yet how you expand... sorry for the dog barking. The area you have to equip stat increases, because it seems limited right now. I assume maybe story progress is required because I haven't seen anything I can buy to give me more storage space, just my machine that's following me around. My book, I guess. So I should also point out the PC version of the game apparently has some issues. Again, this is not first-hand knowledge because I'm playing this on PS4, which I've had no technical issues with at all. At the time of recording, it's sitting on only mostly positive. A friend of mine has been playing it on PC and they have reported it seems to have some problems. I hope they'll be worked on, but do keep in mind that there may indeed be some issues. I will be linking to the Steam version in the description box. So go check it out, see if they fix the problems, or see what those problems are. There might be with certain cards, I'm not sure. But just be aware of it if you go check it out. If you do want to pick up the PC version, it is available. It's a full price release for $39.99 in British pounds. The console release is slightly more expensive than that. I looked it up and it said it was $55 or $54.99. It didn't sound right to me. I thought it was $50, but maybe I was looking at a second-hand copy someone was trying to upsell or something. I'm not sure. So look into that. So it is a full price release. If you like Platinum Games combat style and you don't mind that the enemies all kind of look a little bit samey, and I can see you enjoying it. I really like the voice that the robots have. Sadly, I don't think we're going to hear any of them talking without doing a mission. But yeah, I like their voice. They all kind of have the same almost feminine but robotic voice. Poor sods. A little bit over-leveled for them at this point. Although that said, I am doing missions where I'm finding enemies which are much higher level than me. Oh, I could have pressed circle on him there. I'm bad at finding the correct moments for when those circle prompts are appearing. It's when enemies stumble, but I think it's not just stumbling, it has to be fully fallen over. I'm not sure. You can also fish if you want. I haven't spent much time on it because I never do. But there is drastic changes of scenery. Don't just think it's all this. It's not. There's the desert that we just showed, and I'm into a third area now which looks vastly different. The area from the tutorial or the demo, if you played the demo, that looks different. A little bit very open. Not much detail, especially compared to something like, say, Zero Dawn. See, isn't that fun? Just having a death beam on command. Some of the other skills do sound fun as well, but they don't sound as practical. But anyway, we'll look into that. We'll go back to the Resistance HQ, which is up here on the hill. You do run very fast when you're sprinting, that's for sure. See, look, we even took the time to create an animation of both of them. Like, the guy stumbles as well if I make him go through... Yeah, see that? They took the time to animate a stumbling animation, and yet you're fighting trash cans. I don't mean to keep sticking on that point, but it's really the only complaint I have, but it is a big complaint, because it's just like, well, why didn't you put more effort into that? But anyway. So this is one of our shops. This is the maintenance shop. This is where we can upgrade our pod and also our cells, I think. So you can upgrade the pod. The fusing of chips I've never done. What do we need here? Oh, we need tons of stuff I don't have. Oh, including mushrooms. I've never found a mushroom yet. I have a feeling I know where you could get them, though. Okay. Yeah, she sells the other skills you could have instead of the death beam I've been using. So, for instance, there's a Mirage. That sounds kind of cool, but short range. So it analyzes all enemies in a fixed area, and then you do the nothing personnel kid and teleport around them. Smacking them. You can turn it into a hammer, turn it into a sword, turn it into spears coming out the floor, you can turn it into shields. One's for projectile, one's for close range, and then that's increased storage capacity. I haven't filled it yet, so I haven't felt the need. Although, given how much money I have, I'm sure, why not? So that's that. Come back anytime. I will. And over here we have... This is a tutorial lady wearing the mask that person always wears at E3. The game does have a sense of humour about it. It's got a little bit of self-referentialness to it. I don't think you can add "ness" to that word to make it a word. But anyway, so he sells weapons. I immediately bought the biggest greatsword he had when the game started. But you can also kind of go here and upgrade the swords you've got, and it tells you this is how your base attack grows, this is how your combo damage grows, and if you get any perks, it tells you what the perks are, like for instance attack speed up, or discount, I assume that just means cheaper prices. Endurance up, attack speed up. But I'm mostly using Virtuous Treaty and Virtuous Contract. So I need titanium alloy and warped wire. Warped wire I think you just get from the basic big guys. Titanium alloy, I don't think anything I've killed has dropped that yet. But that's how you upgrade it. It's very similar to something like Monster Hunter, how you just go farm the parts you want. And there is a degree of farming slash grinding, I feel. Although there doesn't seem to be a limit to how many healths you can carry. Like I'm carrying like 31 basic health recoveries, which recover about a third of my HP, maybe a fourth. And they're not hard to use. You don't pause when you use them. Like if a boss sends me flying, by the time I stand up, I could be full health if I just spammed a few healths. So it feels like if you don't care about not doing it gracefully, you can Zerg bosses. At least so far. Another thing to point out, and actually this is a perfect bit to do it here, the game often shifts perspective on you without warning, and you just kind of have to adapt on the fly. Like now the game is 2D. I can't walk deeper into camera, I can't walk further away into camera. We are stuck on this 2D plane. It loves doing stuff like that. Or for instance, the camera pulling way up above, so now you've got an overhead view and it's suddenly a twin stick shooter. It seems to do that at random, and I think that's probably just to break up the monotony. I don't know how to monotony rather. I don't know how to open up these locked chests yet. It doesn't let me do it. It says I can't yet. Yeah, drastic shifts like that. I think it's maybe it's to keep the combat interesting, just in case they're worried it's getting stale. Like, oh hey, now do it from this angle, just to mix things up a little bit. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's see if we can maybe do a side quest before we finish here rather than a main mission. So we'll ignore the main mission. We'll go to active quest and we'll go Jean-Paul's Melancholy. Oh yeah, it's a robot who wants me to find some fans. Let's see, Lost Girl. Oh yeah, we can't go there though because that's where my main mission is. Same with that one. Same with that one, oh dear. Okay, well let's do Jean-Paul's Melancholy. That means going out into the desert, though, to find another fan. So unfortunately, it means I'm going to have to run there. There is a way to teleport between save points, but right now all I can do is teleport between Resistance Base and the Moon Base. I'm not going to show the Moon Base in terms of, just in case of spoilers, I'm not sure. Because there's something up with that Moon Base. Again, I don't know what, I feel there's something up with it. It's also in black and white, and I feel like that's on purpose. It feels like everything is done deliberately. So maybe the enemy design is the way it is purposefully. I'm giving them maybe too much credit, I don't know, but everything else feels like it's like that for a reason. So maybe I just haven't played deep enough in yet to see the reason for that. So if it justifies itself later on, then fair enough. Keep in mind these are first impressions, not a review. Oh hey, a chest I missed. I would like to show off some of the voice acting, so doing this side mission would be the easiest way. If I'd remembered that I still had to go into the desert to find another of Jean-Paul's fans, then I would have just stayed out there and done the skill talk later, but whatever. We'll get there quick enough. Enemies respawn very, very quickly. Like the robots with the shields, they'll be back, blocking the way to the desert. Almost certainly. In fact, they will be, without a doubt. If you're ever anywhere safe on the map, it says saving possible, you can save from the start menu. Or you can save quick saves at checkpoints. Sometimes checkpoints are under attack as well, so you have to kill the enemies first and then get into them. Oh, yeah, there's an animation for stumbling up sand. So it's making me suspicious now that I think about it. But I don't know, even when I played the demo, the enemy design was the one takeaway I had as a negative, more so than anything else. Alright, so somewhere in this desert, let's maybe check how far am I going in here. Not this part of a desert. This part of a desert? Ah, yep, that part of a desert. Okay, well, I'll make that my active target. Now, is there a quick way for me to get to there from where I am other than going across the entire desert? I don't think so. There was a story mission where I escaped to this area from roundabout where that was, but I think the area got blocked off afterwards. It looks like this might lead to it, if it does indeed let me through. Can I jump up there? I don't think so. Oh wait, the cave here maybe. I have a feeling it'll be blocked off at the far end. Oh, no, there's people though. See, these are trash cans with sword plus capes. The bigger trash cans with swords and capes, sorry. If you do get hit, you do lose a lot of health, it's worth pointing out. You're not anywhere near invincible. You've got massive damage output, but very low defense, which is, again, in Platinum style. They favour aggressive comboing. It's just the way they are. Oh, you dropped a bit. What is that? Counter +1. I've just been leaving it up to the game to automatically assign me the best setup of chips I have because I don't know which is best. Is this going to lead me to where I need to be? It looks like it is. According to the map it is. I guess we'll see. Not sure if I want to jump into there. There's an item I missed over here if nothing else. Oh, yeah, if I get in that cave, can I make this jump? Let's find out. Yeah, I can. Yes, we don't need to go over there for the item. I'm more concerned about trying to get some voice acting in, just so you can hear it before we finish here. I'm levitating. I'm levitating above the ground. You didn't think that one through, did you? Yeah, it's another chest I can't open. But it's nice looking. And I want this item as well, please. Barely. Alright, I remember this area from when I was here for the story. So we have to find a robot who's an admirer of Jean-Paul, and hopefully that will trigger some dialogue. If not with the robot itself, usually 9S has something to say when something happens. 2B is your stereotypical hard ass. I think we're going up this one here on the right. Doesn't really care, just wants to do the mission, you know, that kind of thing. Very, very cliche. Torn book. Alright, so here we go. Robot over here somewhere. The music in the game, by the way, is fantastic. You're not going to be able to hear it very well with me constantly yammering, but it's great. You're around here, I guess. Hello. Friendly robots? Are you aggressive robots? You're just kind of looking at me. Wife machine. Okay. Wife machine. Who are you? You are machine in love. No voice acting yet. Uh-huh. I can tell. I can smell him on you. Sniff. Ah. Gross. Yeah, that is weird. He's correct. He pursues new knowledge with a passion that is almost indescribable. I admire him as I do no other. Pardon me, 9S. Please stop doing that. It's rude. You have issues. But men take advantage of you all the time. I found something that Master Jean-Paul is interested in. Please take it to him. Machine fossil. Right, they might talk about this as I leave. If they don't, I'll be annoyed. Once we're out of earshot. No? Nothing to say about that at all? That's annoying. The voice acting, you can have it in English or Japanese if you prefer. I find the English voice acting good. I wanted to demonstrate that to you, but sadly, they're not talking. There isn't a lot of it. A lot of it is you have to read. The main story is voice acted. Sometimes they remark during side quests, but not all the text in side quests is voice acted. So you can also get emails here, story related emails though. And again, quick save if you want. So I think I've about covered my thoughts on NieR Automata. I did want to show off the voice acting, but you would just have to take my word for it that the English, it doesn't even seem acceptable to me. It seems good. But if that's a turn off for whatever reason, the Japanese is there for you. It plays well. I've probably spent way too much time talking about my one minor complaint, but do keep in mind it's first impressions. Be very wary if you are interested in the PC version rather than PS4. Go look at the Steam store link I'll put in the description box. Make sure it's been updated, or make sure you understand correctly what is wrong with that version, if anything. But the PS4 version, no complaints, really. It's a good game. I like it. Only one real fault. If you're interested, go check it out. Keep in mind it is a full price release, though. It's not an indie game. This has been a look at NieR Automata by Platinum Games, brought to you by Square Enix. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. There's no wave emote as far as I'm aware, so I'll just have to say ta-ta for now.